Every betrayal carries its own weight, and every truth, no matter how hidden, claws its way out. This is the silent reckoning. I didn't ask for reasons, and I didn't beg for answers. I listened to her, her words sharp and rehearsed, like a script she'd been practicing for weeks. I need space. A week. Just a week, she said, her arms crossed tightly, as if declaring her authority. Do what you want, but maybe then you'll finally understand what a good wife I am. I didn't nod in agreement. I nodded because I already knew what was coming. I had seen the signs long before her admission. Her silence in the face of my indifference unsettled her. She wanted a fight. She wanted me to plead. I gave her nothing. That was her first mistake. The next morning, she packed in haste. Not the hurried chaos of someone leaving in distress, but a cold, calculated minimalism. A small bag, dresses she hadn't worn for months. The perfume, her secret weapon, came out again. The scent clung to the air, but I didn't flinch. She kissed my cheek, and it wasn't a kiss. It was a mechanical gesture, like something out of routine, not love. She left without a glance, without a second thought. I stood there watching her drive away, the echo of the car's engine fading into the night. My chest was calm, my thoughts clear, but my hands trembled. Not from grief, but from restraint. I knew what this was. This was her version of freedom. She thought I wouldn't notice. She was wrong. That night, I sat down, not in a rush, but with the purpose of a man who knew exactly what he was doing. I combed through the phone records, methodical. The pattern was clear, late-night calls, always when I was asleep, always to the same number. A name I didn't recognize, not saved in her contacts. But the billing address? It told me everything. A man she'd once called a friend from work. I felt the hollow ache of betrayal, but there was no panic, just precision. By the third day, I had compiled enough evidence to fill a folder. Bank statements, GPS logs, hotel receipts, each one a reminder of the lies. I wasn't frantic. I wasn't desperate. I was building my case, brick by brick, until the house we built together no longer felt like a home. It felt like a stage, and I was watching her perform her part. Her laugh no longer sounded genuine, her smile, mechanical. It was all just smoke and mirrors. The anger roiled inside me, but I didn't let it show. I knew when to strike, and it wouldn't be until the final act. On the sixth day, the pieces were all in place. I had everything. The mask she wore was slipping, and I was ready to pull it off. But I didn't call her. I didn't give her a chance to explain, to apologize. I called my lawyer. I had already decided. This wasn't just about revenge. This was about liberation. I was taking back control, and she would never see it coming. The seventh day, she returned. She walked in as though nothing had happened, smiling, humming, dropping her bag casually on the couch. "Miss me?" she teased, unaware that her words would fall on deaf ears. I looked at her, not as a man who once loved her, but as someone who had already moved on. "I filed the papers," I said, the words cutting through the silence like a scalpel. Her smile faltered, confusion clouding her face. "What?" she asked, her voice suddenly small. I slid the envelope across the table. Divorce papers, every accusation laid out clearly. Her name, printed beneath the evidence she thought she had hidden well. Hotel bills, phone records, receipts, all meticulously documented. Her lips trembled, but no words came. She couldn't even form a coherent sentence, only shaking her head, whispering desperate denials. But I didn't flinch. I didn't need to shout. I let the silence speak louder than anything I could say. Anger followed, then bargaining, and finally, tears. "I didn't mean to hurt you." The words were hollow, empty. I didn't respond. She had wanted me to beg. She wanted me to fight for her. But I had already fought, and won, without lifting a finger. Within an hour, the phone calls started. Dozens of them. My phone lit up like a fireworks show, each one more frantic than the last. Please, don't do this. We can fix it. I ignored them all. My silence was my victory. It was louder than any apology, more final than any words. That night, I sat alone in the kitchen. The house felt eerily quiet. No perfume in the air, no false smiles, just the pure stillness of the truth. I expected to feel broken, but I didn't. I felt clarity. For so long, I had blamed myself. Not enough attention, not enough love, not enough anything. But the truth was simpler. I wasn't lacking. I wasn't the one who had failed. I was the one who had been deceived. She thought my silence was weakness. She thought my patience was a sign I wouldn't notice. But the truth was, I had already seen everything, and I wasn't coming back. I let her coals pile up, because silence in the end, is the loudest verdict of all.